Last week? No, it's the same notes.
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? Welcome to the session. I'm your host, Jzabel DaTruth, and I got my two right hands with me. What's up, Sixxcess?
What it do? You
And
already know.
MoneyGibbs. What is going on?
Yes, y'all. You know it don't
What
stop.
it do? You
So
already
the
know.
weather here in the DMV been dry like crazy. I'm
hmm
sick of turning my AC on and off. Are you guys experiencing the same thing?
Listen,
Yep.
I got
Well,
the
he.
AC in the window and the heater plugged in.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Well, I mean, it was nice today, so I did get a breeze. We got a lot to talk about.
Donald
Like,
Trump. Donald Trump been called it though. He said it was gonna happen like this. What with global warming and whatnot.
he said a lot of things, and you know what? We gonna talk to that as well.
Free Donald
Um,
Trump.
yes. Is he locked? You know what?
Now he ain't locked up. You know, white people don't go to jail when they get indicted. They get to go to court process, go home. They go all the way up to sentencing, and then they get a date to turn themselves in. You know how white people get it. Rich white people at that.
They need to leave that man alone. He did say something in his speech. I don't know. Did you guys get a chance to catch his speech
No, I
at the
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
Mar-a-Lago?
I did. You know, I did.
Okay. I thought it was very interesting that he talked about the currency and how Russia and China have like how so many countries that didn't get along before are now coming together to get along to team up and I guess this own the US currency. I just thought that was hilarious. He
Which is happening. You see it?
It's definitely happening. If you guys are not hip to what's going on with what do you call it? I think he calls them BRICS, which is I think Russia, China, South Africa, and a few other countries. They are no longer wanting to use U.S. currency. So the U.S. dollar, they're doing away with it. It's basically going to be null and void in those places. So
Well, you peep game though. Did y'all peep game? Did y'all peep game? The Cash Out man was stabbed to death this week or last week rather.
you
Oh,
know what? That was very interesting as well. And in light of him being stabbed or killed,
Go ahead, talk about it. A
Fed
day
Now,
later.
the government is coming out with a similar app called Fed Now where your money could be accessible within hours. They're trying to get rid of Zelle, Cash App, and all of them. I thought that was a little weird. I don't know.
Fed
I don't know
now.
about
That's what
y'all.
it's called. Fed now. Now, the word fed now could mean a couple of things. Fed as in getting your food or getting something to eat and being fed.
Hmm.
Fed as in being federal. Or fed as in them boys watching our money.
I I think they're going to be more inclined to watch, and they're going to have more access to all of our transactions. I'm wondering if we will have the option to still use Zelle and those other apps, but that's crazy.
Now you know what I wonder? Like, I wonder if this push in trying to get rid of cash would lead to one of those movie like worlds where $100
listen,
bill
man.
is now worth like $200 if you got the cash. It's
Listen,
like, hey, I got cash.
listen. I get
Hmm.
nervous because I be saying this shit, and people think that I be crazy saying this shit. But the shit that they saying in movies, it makes some fucking sense. Like if you look at the
Hmm.
shit that's happening in the movies, if you look at Divergent, if you look at, you know what I'm saying, certain movies, the shit that they doing is actually happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that they make these movies up like it's fantasy, but then the shit like, damn, this shit is kind of
They're
happening.
telling us
It's
what
I
is
happening
have
in real life.
never I have never looked at movies as fantasy, bro. You
Yeah,
feel me?
but people be looking at
Mhm.
me like, bro, you crazy. I'm like, look at what the fuck is happening though. Like this shit is really happening.
I remember when I first seen Demolition Man, right? And they
Mhm.
froze was it Wesley Snipes because he was a criminal? And now look, they talking about trying to actually do that here in the near future.
See, I'm not even hip to all those crazies. I just think that it is weird how production companies, as far as movies, are making movies about stuff that's actually coming into fruition. That's a
So look,
little bit
do
old.
y'all think that the movies are making these things up and then someone is making them as they see them in the movie, like, oh, that's a great idea, or the movies are giving us a preview of what we're about to be seeing?
It's a preview.
The
Like,
latter.
listen, you saw The Simpsons. The Simpsons had Donald Trump as president. This is what, 20 years before?
For real?
Yes. Yes. I saw that episode.
I need to
Like,
watch.
I can't make this shit up.
The Simpsons have predicted a lot of things. A lot of things. But The Simpsons is also one of those TV shows that stays current. So you don't know if it's predictions or just people saying it's predictions.
But that's crazy that actually yeah, they need to leave Donald Trump alone. Anyway, on to our next topic. So it was a big weekend here in the DMV. I don't know if people were able to get out and make it to MadeCon. Made in DMV had a conference this weekend. They had a lot of guest speakers and panelists, local businesses and entrepreneurs, media as well that came out. They had, interesting enough, they had Tumba Basa. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he does curate Spotify playlists. I think he's the curator of Rap Caviar. Are you guys familiar with that?
Of course.
Okay. So they had him there. They also had, interesting enough, Fat Trail as well. They had, is it Wallow? Yeah, Wallow was there from $1 Million Worth of Game and a few other people.
Right.
Now, what was interesting was the negative. I don't even want to say negative, but some of the comments that I did see. Now, a lot of people were in support of all of the panelists, and some people had some smart things to say. Now, when it comes to being successful as an artist, a DMV artist, which ones do you consider, like which ones would you consider a success? Which DMV artist would you consider a success in which you would want to replicate your journey to?
Okay, so as far as rappers go, the pinnacles are the Wale's and Shy Glizzy's. I mean, that's just what it is from the DMV area. But as far as artists go, wow. When you really start diving deep into the artistry of the DMV, right? You realize that there's a lot of big names for the DMV, bands and things like that. So
we're talking about rappers.
Yeah, Shy Glizzy and Wale are the pinnacle of rappers. I mean, there's a lot of.
I agree and I also disagree. I feel like you need to look at rappers like Logic and other rappers who came like not necessarily DC, but outside, like the DMV, Virginia. Like Chris Brown is also a DMV artist. You know what I'm saying? Like looking at things like that, I would say would be more of a pinnacle. Yes, I feel like at the time and age of stuff what's going on right now, yeah, Shy Glizzy and Wale is cool, but like looking at outstanding, you know what I'm saying? Like outstanding, like where you want to go and as an avenue as an artist, or you know what I'm saying, even as a rapper or whatever that is, looking at artists like that are those who took it to that next level. Even Pharrell as a producer, you know what I'm saying? Like artists that came from the DMV, that's Virginia too, you know what I'm saying? Not putting that aside to anybody, but
the DMV is the metropolitan area.
All right.
Well, I would consider Logic a DMV artist as well, though. When you go further down in Virginia, outside of metropolitan Virginia, then I'm not too sure about that. What's interesting to me is that neither one of you guys named Fat Trail as a success story of a DMV rapper. And why is that?
I mean, look, no disrespect to Fat Trail. He's done his job. He's making money in the industry, but that's not a success story. There's a lot of us that make money in the industry. A lot of us. So just making money and making a lot of money in the industry is not. That's doing your job great. Like if we had a job and he was one of the coworkers, he'd be one of those coworkers that's been there a real long time. But you wonder why he never be the supervisor, but he know everything. You know, it's like he ain't gonna never be the supervisor. They ain't gonna never give him a promotion to be our boss. But he's worked with us for years. He makes more money than everyone because he's done those things. He's done those favors. He'll do the hours that no one want to do. He'll go to places where no one want to go. But he just can't be supervisor material.
J Money, how do you feel? And why didn't you name Fat Trail as a success story of a DMV rapper?
I mean, this didn't come to mind. I mean, not anything against Fat Trail, but yeah, he's good at doing his job. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're looking at somebody actually, so like, this is what I'm trying to explain to people. And if you really look at somebody who's taking something and taking ownership and being like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do this for the city. I'm gonna put this on and do these festivals and do these events and make this something of the DMV, then you could say, okay, this is a success story. But nobody has really come to do that. People are coming to try to say, okay, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna leave and go somewhere else and make it there. You know what I'm saying?
Most of his career is spent in jail.
So that's kind of one of my initial thoughts when I did see him as a panelist. And then I had to take a step back because at first I'm like, okay, if I was an artist, that's not the road that I would want to go. Right. So what does he really have to offer other than telling rappers what not to do? I thought about it for a second and I was like, well, before he screwed up, he got an opportunity. So maybe he what he has to offer is how he got that opportunity or what moves he made to get that opportunity as far as his music and pushing it and getting it out there. Relationship building.
Not even that, right? Because it's documented how he got his situation. He won a showcase. He won a showcase that really.
But that's advice.
When he really wasn't supposed to win, he won it by being the crowd, the favorite of the promoter who put him on at the right time, who made sure he was seen to put him in that position. So really, he should be thanking XO for that. You know what I'm saying? And all those people down at Pure that put him in position to make that happen. But the reality of it is, he got an opportunity while they put him in position, took him to the front door, and what did that do? You didn't get to work. You dropped a single and you didn't get to work. You gave us a little glimpse of what you could do, what you potentially could do, but there's nobody out here saying, I want to be the next Fat Trail. I want to get on and blow my opportunities away. Fat Trail has blown plenty of opportunities away. Now it's not too late for him though, because he's still young. He could become he could become a legend. But like I said, is he going to be doing Wale numbers? Is he going to do Shot Glizzy numbers? Hell, is he going to do Rico Nasty numbers? You see what I'm saying? Like,
been out, and pretty much it seems like
he on the same level as Big Flock and them.
Anybody could take pictures with celebrities. It's like, what are you actually like putting out? What are you really putting out? So,
I mean, that's a big tell, right? If you're sitting there with Rick Ross, the boss, but you're not with Maybach. That's interesting. None of them people have thought to like get you back in the studio. Like you back doing regular DMV artist stuff.
I'm going to tell you what happens once you have things like this going against yourself. It's hard for you to get back in these places because they're entertainment lawyers. They're people that you just have to go through to do studio time and stuff like that. So yeah, you could go to the studio and do your stuff, but it's never going to get put out because they're not going to sign behind you possibly going back to jail in 9 months.
I mean, think about it like this though. If you do everything on a label level, without really the label knowledge of what's going on, and you do everything on a label level, doing something regular just seems, going back to it the regular way, getting back on the regular grind and starting over is like, Your name, the beauty about a name though, what people don't understand, the beauty about your name is it never goes lower.
Right.
It's always like we look at Delonte West and we know, like we see Delonte West now and we like, damn, like they show him homeless, defeated and stuff, but they still have to put that title ex-NBA star. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you always have the expectation level that you could be great again, no matter what, until you're done. So your name never diminishes. You have to prove it up to its level or the status that it's on. But that ain't nothing, no big deals. Yeah, Fat Trail is home. Fat Trail is back being visible. But when we talk about any other city, when their artists come home, right? It's like a damn parade.
Yeah.
I mean, when Bobby Schmurder came home, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the GOAT tone. This about to be great music. He ain't give him none of it.
I mean, he gave us 2 songs.
He gave us a lot of dances.
I mean, but that was cool too.
Yeah, cool. But ultimately, it led to him being let go from a record deal, and because of his respect, the label worded it differently. Like they let him do his own thing because of respect. But we know what that is. No one gets let to do their own thing if they're making a lot of money.
Yeah, that's definitely. I think that's true as well. Now, while we're talking about DMV artists and artistry in the DMV, I want to move on to our next topic, Ant Glizzy.
I love Ant Glizzy now, y'all. That's my dog. I want to meet him in person.
He believes that the DMV sound could be something. It could make it. And it's not more so about the music, but more so about the artist. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip.
Yes.
We are going to discuss. Once again.
So like,
can y'all hear it?
Yep.
Rappers can make it with the DMV flow.
Yeah, I feel like they can make it. They can make it with any flow. I don't tell you nothing about rap to me. Cause I know some rappers don't like their music. It's about appearances and get through the door. It's like their lifestyle. What connects to it? They household in my city so grimy, and they come from a struggle so bad. You will overlook the music. You will just want them to win if you can really get to know them. So they just got to get you to really get to know them. That's just they way and they cadence. It's like nobody knew once Chief Keef went, I don't like what all that and that blew. I was gonna open them doors for all them Chicago rappers. It might just take one person hit. We got time. It's baby steps. You can't rush greatness. There's always hope though. It's never over. They gonna win. They got time. They like in their 20s. They 16 years old to 20. I'm 31 years old, so it's like they got time.
Yeah,
I agree.
You agree? I loved his face, all right, because we learn in journalism, the face tells us the truth about what's being said.
He sound like he lying. He look like he lying.
Listen, let me tell you. Let's put it like let's play along. Let's play along with this.
Oh.
This is now called political correct Ant. And I like political correct Ant because it was like someone came to Ant and said, be nice. You feel me? But yeah, valid point. They're 16, 20 years old. They have plenty of time to figure it out. But let me tell you what they need to figure out. A, the flow is a no. And B, your marketing and promo is worse than your flow. So let's go. Let's go toe for toe, right? I'm going to tell y'all the real deal. The DMV flow, why it can't make it? Because it can't perform well. Right? The thing about that flow, when you get in the studio and you got to punch every bar because you're being lazy, you don't perform that record well. And when you can't perform well, no one cares. And don't tell me, well, we just put the song out on the line and see what happens and hopefully it blows up. No. None of the artists that are on your top list from the DMV, and there is a top DMV list, none of them have that flow. None of them have that flow.
I think like maybe one of
them.
Even if you find songs where they've dibbled and dabbled in it, because I've said to this, the DMV culture creates a get like me market. When you got promoters, radio personalities who pretty much levitate to one person, and usually that person is the person that's taking care of them financially, right? Well, it creates a bunch of people saying, I can do that too. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that, because there is no person in the DMV that you can go to, and there's no place in the DMV that you can go to and become a standout. There's no SOB in the DMV. You know, there is no like amphitheaters that's like really putting on DMV artists. The Howard Theater and the Fillmore, those cater to outcoming artists. They outsource. Those are the houses for our visitors to have a great venue. But yet, the artists get in there and it's like open mic night. So I was like, no, that flow can't make it. If you walking up that joint and you performing and you gotta be by the 6th bar. Listen, every show, I can't. If I could tell you how many people ask me, what's he saying? Because I be partying with everybody. They're like, what's he saying? What's she saying? And I have to look at them like this.
Hey, that be my line. I'm like, hey, you know what the fuck they saying? No.
I think it has potential. I think it could go. I think my issue with it is nobody's doing hooks anymore. I don't think. And
I didn't
so
realize that was a
like,
flow.
it sounds like a run-on sentence. Like,
oh, they doing hooks.
I mean, a lot of what I hear is just straight the same. Like, there is no like identifiable hook.
This how they be in the studio. This how they be in the studio.
How to format. It's called the formation of a song. Like how to put parts of a song in order. Putting the hooks in the intro and the bridges and the gaps in the
a lot of it doesn't have that, and so it sounds like Ice Spice, and I like her. I think the reason I like her,
her flow better than the DMV flow. You know what the hook is.
I like her is because I think some of her stuff is catchy. If you really listen to it, to me, it's catchy. It makes sense. Also, her beats are fire. If she had poor beats like most of these artists, then I think it wouldn't be as well. I think it has a lot to do with beat selection, like you said, formation of the song, and kind of, yeah, the whole production of the song. Like, know when the beat drop, I should say this maybe, or like it's just.
Like you said though, there is no cadence that we all can sing along with. I don't want to. If the hook is, I wrote down on my ops. That's still better. That's still better than them trying to get in a whole paragraph for the hook and like what us to remember it. Like nah, like if you're not coming up with no hooks, no one cares about these songs, man. And I'm sorry, we're not gonna sing along with a hook or some shit that we didn't do. You know, like nah. If your hook is the verse, what it should be the verse, how you did this and that, putting that work. Like, you know, one of my favorite songs is though, 2 Milli by Peasy, 2 Million Up. Love that record.
Yeah,
love that record. And like one would say, I mean, we know what the hook is because of how it's given, you know, but it's also memorable phrases in these records. Everybody's hooks be the same, for real, for real. Everybody's hooks be the same out of the DMV. Talk about the same stuff.
Well, we're still in the DMV, right? So next topic.
Not me.
Next topic. I'm not really too familiar with this situation, but someone was obviously murdered. Well, I can't say that word.
Taken away.
They were taken away while asleep in a vehicle in Northeast DC. Before I play this,
no, a stolen vehicle.
So the vehicle was stolen. They were
there. We go.
And the police them.
Yeah, the police. Yeah. Well, we all know what happens when you get the police in the car. All right. Go ahead. Yeah, play the clip.
Okay. Let's play the clip. I pull it up, but that is crazy. A second. Let's share this.
There is no support for the artists in the DMV.
I want to see when this clip playing. I want to reference what you said.
Remember, for us, don't grab like that. Oh,
I wish
So
that you all could see my comments on here.
So right now,
I can.
they're getting in position, right?
No, right now they're confirming that that's the stolen vehicle.
Okay.
They're also confirming if that is somebody actually inside the vehicle or not.
All right.
This is my first time saying it, y'all.
All right. So now,
This is a super interesting tactic that police
opening the door.
use when someone says observing and seeing what's happening.
So now he's opening the
Also
door.
getting in positioning and trying to figure out the right approach. At this point, he realized the car is open.
So this is the point where I'm trying to figure out.
I'm trying to see. Looks black to me.
Here.
Oh, those are black cops for sure. But you can tell by the voice. The voices are very telling the
He
race.
opens the door. He opens the door. What's the cause of the opening the door?
Well, to get in position. This is supposed to be easy. This is supposed to be easy right
So
here.
where is the guy sleep at?
In the front seat of the driver's side. He's already ready to roll.
So you open the back passenger door.
Is that
Now
him
this-
cocking a gun?
No, that was the walkie-talkie going off, and they thinking it was going to wake him up and mess up everything while they're not in position. So he jumps back. Also, I like people to understand something, that they just went to the point of the easiest point of entry to get in position the best way. This is no different than a little raid, that's happening just inside of a vehicle. It's just a raid inside of a vehicle. Commands.
Did he take off driving?
Stop, man. Just let me out.
He's driving.
Let me out. Stop, bro. Shoot.
Now the gun comes out.
How many times?
Shot fired. Shot fired. Shot fired.
About 5 or 6.
Don't move. Don't move.
Car hurls into a building.
Black 12.
Hurls into a building. Now y'all realize that car never turned. It was straight the whole time. Straight into a building.
Oh,
He still got his feet on the gas.
my goodness.
Send me a message.
That boy still got his feet on that gas, y'all.
And why does he still got his gun aimed?
Remember, for us,
You gonna do it? And this is here?
Now, I mean, listen, why he still has his gun aimed, because, I mean, you can see he still got his feet on the gas. He can slip it in the reverse. You don't know if you shoot the person even if you shoot the person in the body, you still don't know what type of situation this is. If the person is possibly wearing a vest or whatever the case may be. Safety first, safety first. This is the most unfortunate thing. Let me get this out.
Hey, y'all, like my nerves is all messed up right now because me personally, I don't buy into this cop on killing black people when black people kill black people every day. So I don't really be following these stories. This was my first time seeing that, and oh my gosh.
So let me give everybody a little bit of background, right? Before I became a rapper or an artist, this guy that you see, weed smoking, having fun, turned up guy, I used to want to be a police officer, heavy. I went to DC, PG, St. Mary's County, Transit, all of them, until I eventually got accepted in the DOD police. Now, in this training, took a whole lot of police training from different jurisdictions and rules, also military police. What I learned is that the goal is to make it home at the end of the day. I get it. These kids, whether they be black or white, because I can show y'all. I told one person I can show you tons of footage because I watch all of these type of videos where the person is white, Latina, Mexican, Chinese. If you choose to go against, that's usually the outcome of it. Like I said, usually, because there are some rare instances. And of course, there are people that be like, oh, they're white. Nah, there's plenty of black people that get away with like going ham on the police. But who didn't see that coming when he pulled off?
You know what? I didn't expect them to pull off. All I heard was stop moving. It's the police. Don't move. Stop moving. Stop. 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 That's all I heard. But that still to me doesn't warrant him letting off that many shots. Like one pow in the arm, okay, cool. But like,
so let me tell you, in training,
off the trigger.
Let me tell you why it's warranted. Because one shot is a lawsuit. Usually emptying your clip is not a lawsuit. Also, aiming, police are trained to aim, center, mass, shoot to kill. Center, mass, shoot to kill. Someone says, why didn't he reach over and shoot him in the leg? I said, interested that you would say that.
They're not trying to do that.
I mean, even if they were, what do you want? All cops running around like Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible? Is that what we think? That we think that all these cops are trained like that Statham dude, the transporter? No. Y'all do realize that in all those movies, those people are the criminals. Those people with the super tactical skills and able to do all the tricks with the weapons and shit, they're the criminals. John Wick was not the law. They're not the police. Those are not the police. They are trained to get home at the end of the day. So I'm like someone said, I'm the problem. They said I'm the problem. They said Six. You're the reason why black people can't get anywhere because you don't step up against these things.
How many times did they have to tell him to stop? Like, that's the part that, okay, so he wouldn't have died. Let's just be honest right here. I don't think he would have been in this situation had when they said, it's the police. Stop. 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 Like, we've seen it in Memphis where actually it was, they still did what they did. But chances are, had he just stopped, I think it wouldn't have been as bad, maybe. I mean,
the question was presented to me, yo, Six, have you ever been locked up? I'm like, yeah, well, five times. I've came home every one. I've been in a situation where the police literally ran down on me 20 deep from everywhere. Guns blazed and drawn. There's actually camera footage of that if you don't believe me. But you know what I didn't choose to do? Flight. I said, you got me.
Up to my knees. Hands up. I want to go. No. Don't shoot.
He understood something.
I'm like, nigga, you got me. Fuck it. It's a few pounds. It's just a few pounds. What's gonna happen for that? You feel me? Like, y'all have to understand something. We're in a whole new world where you got people defending themselves. like I don't want to see our black people keep on getting killed by the police. And I'm like, if you're gonna live it up and do your crimes and do that, at least just give up when you caught.
So listen, did you see that post I sent you up KDY? Like, so my question for you was, how you had that other clip I sent you about
yes.
Up KDY? Because my question is, how are you? They're approaching police like this, but then in another situation, the police are approaching them like this, and somebody's dying. You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to
but that's not a fair question, right? Like,
like it's not making sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this happening? You know what I'm saying? In the same mile radius. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because what happens? I mean, like, you have to ask yourself, bruh, nothing happens without merit. Let's go off the scene. Let's talk about
if you were the officer in this other situation, how would you have to handle that when, you know what I'm saying? If you're in the other situation, you're dealing with somebody who's fucking asleep. This person is awoke. This, you know what I'm saying? Like, this person is not asleep.
Well, how smart we've grown. You an asshole.
My brother.
I told you I watch all these police clips.
Hot as shit. Every time a nigga come up here, you niggas calling the police on the nigga. You niggas hot as shit. Fuck you time out. You niggas hot as shit.
One to the next. I think
with none of you niggas be tipping like shit. Bitch ass niggas. On God. That's why a nigga don't be up KDY. You niggas hot as shit. On my brother. You niggas hot as shit. You niggas is hot as shit. Every time a nigga come up here, you niggas calling the police on the nigga. You niggas hot as bitch. You's a bitch. You's a bitch. You's a bitch. You's a bitch. Don't touch me, nigga. I'll fuck you up, nigga. Your bitch ass. Don't touch me, bitch. Or I spit on you, bitch. Fuck you talking about? Don't touch me. We'll see you's a bitch. You's a bitch. I'll make something good on every day of this bitch. Yeah, what you gonna do? And I spit on you. Your bitch ass. You's a bitch. Say I won't spit on you. Say I won't spit on you right now. Fuck you talking about, bitch. You's a bitch. You's a bitch. Get the fuck on, bitch. Roll out. Yeah, before I do something to your bitch ass. Get the fuck on, nigga. Get the fuck on, nigga. Get the fuck on, nigga. Don't touch me. 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 You's a bitch. I don't have to. I don't have to. No, I don't. That's not no law, bitch. I ain't touching you. Fuck you talking about, you bitch ass nigga. Shut the fuck up. Do something. But scared bitch ass nigga. I'm all up on you. Do something. Bitch, bitch. You's a bitch. You's a bitch.
See, this is why
that's why I can't. I don't understand.
The least sympathy for situations like what the hell?
You see why you see
why
what
you don't. But what you don't. No, I don't get why you baffled. What was the threat? That furthermore proves my point and my message and my narrative that they're not there to kill you or take you out or just do anything. This is not the goddamn 70s, y'all. This is not the 70s. Even though it feels like the 70s and 60s a little bit around this bitch, it ain't. And let me tell you something. The threat, that dude was not killed for sleeping in a car and in a stolen car. He was killed for pulling off with an officer in the back seat and pretty much at that point now in a high-speed chase. Basically. In a high-speed chase with the cop in the car. This person yelling and cursing at a cop. We have the freedom of speech, y'all. We got the freedom of speech. We can say whatever we want to them. They are and do work for us. But let's just be real. A criminal don't pay no taxes. The people that do pay the tax dollars, the hard-working 9-to-5ers who get up every day and their little piece of their checks go to these police departments in their jurisdictions to make sure that they safe. Well, they are the ones that are the bosses. And they ain't the ones that's been, they're not the ones being targeted.
You know why it just really irritates me because first of all, I don't know if he lives on that block, but I'm gonna assume he does not.
Exactly.
You don't even live there. A lot of guys, and I was just thinking this the other day, like, you know how many dudes catch the bus, catch the Uber,
around their grandmother way,
ride the bicycle to a block that you do not live on. You go to Loiter. Mm-hmm. And then when the people of that community or on that block don't want you there, and instead of telling you because y'all young ends are disrespectful, they call the police, and the police just simply ask you, move it along. Now it's, fuck you, I come up here every day. I'll be up here every day. Like, you don't live here. Like, find you some fucking business.
Let's just be quiet. Let's get political, right? Oh. You guys live in DC, which is on paper, on record, one of the most profiting cities right now. You got people selling their homes for millions of dollars in neighborhoods that you wouldn't think like, what? This $1 million home? And then you get to try to sell your home, and they're like, oh, we can only give you 300,000 because of all this. I'm like, what?
Dave Chappelle talked about it.
They just got 1 million 10 minutes up the street. But because their shit is a little better policed, or because no one goes up there and hang, they're gonna get an extra 700 G's if they sell their home. Well, y'all gotta think about it. That's your grandma's spot that she had forever. And I know you like to hang around there, but he said in his own, that on camera, I'm gonna come up here and make it hot every day. Well, that's what happens in hot places. Police presence.
But why doesn't he have any business? That's my question. Ain't you supposed to be in the studio somewhere making some music, trying to make a hit?
No. Why make a hit? Because DC artists, that's the page that promoted this. DC artists ain't promoted his damn music. In fact, they didn't even have a clip of his music playing. Wow. We're doing that. They didn't even tell us where to listen to his music at. It's like DMV rapper turn it up in DMV. Well, that's what they promote. So why would he be in the studio? You know what he gonna do tomorrow? He gonna try to go viral again.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, that is a waste of just.
Do people not
a
believe
waste
in
of
their
time?
music? Like, I believe in my music. Do people not believe in their music no more? Like, is that what it is?
Nah, I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Everybody's trying to find something else. They want to find a way to either show their ass or do some other shit to get attention, and it's not through the music.
Well, all of the indie niggas, right? All of the stay indie, and you can make a lot more money indie. They're the reason of this, because a lot of the good artists that I talk to that like have the money and the means to like do everything, you know what, they don't talk about the music and not knowing the business as their problem. They talk about the politics of the music industry, the things that go on behind the scenes, and it's like, you're weird, bro. Like, go do something else. They just like making music though. This was very interesting to me.
So this is probably why artists aren't focused on the music. They're trying to go viral any other ways. A new study reveals there's 38 million tracks on streaming platforms received 0 plays last year.
Let me explain something to you. Let me just explain. As an artist, this identifies that you don't even believe in yourself. One bit. Not one bit. If you made a song and didn't listen to it not one fucking time, you don't even believe in your fucking self. So stop.
A lot of artists don't even have Spotify.
Listen. So 38 million songs had 0 plays.
How?
67.1 million had under 10 streams. Half of the entire catalog of songs on all streaming platforms have received less than 10 streams.
I have a song that I did not market that has 1,000 plays, and I don't know how.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I preach about the alligator mouth every day. I tell every artist that alligator mouth is the ugliest thing in the world. But we also, we have to stop calling them artists because they make us all.
You're mean.
No,
I'm not mean. I'm not mean.
You don't listen to your song not one fucking time. Quit.
Look, all of these, most of these numbers are from COVID artists or COVID rappers and COVID singers.
What did they think was going to happen?
It's not even that. It's like
the whole world was going to listen. They didn't do nothing.
No, like all of these people are equivalent to the people who faked their resume to get a job they wasn't qualified for, and now don't know what they're doing in it.
Exactly.
These are no different than all the people that got fired down in Georgia and Florida for having the fake nursing degrees. Like, you're not real nurses, you're not real rappers, you're not real artists, you're not real singers. Someone put you in the studio, you discovered United Masters, and now you're away we go. We're dropping a bunch of bad music. And honestly, some of it be good music. It's just poorly engineered, poorly produced, poorly recorded, and poorly promoted.
Poorly marketed.
I mean, we watch it every day. Listen, I guarantee you, most of those artists are those female artists that have OnlyFans and shit.
Listen, if you don't play your own song once,
No, I mean, like I don't think that they're not playing their songs. We're talking about a platform, right? This is Spotify. This is saying that they're played on Spotify. They can have 1,000 plays on Apple Music.
I think this was all streaming platforms. Like,
nah, this was just Spotify.
Hold on, let me go back because I don't think so. I think this was.
No, I think it's right. But what I'm all saying is this: Spotify.
It had the Spotify logo, but
Spotify is the #1 music place.
Yeah, this was. It just said streaming platforms. So, like, let's say you have one song, you put it on all platforms, and it didn't do nothing. It didn't play not one time.
Yeah, but like I think that's a Spotify study.
You think it's a what you call?
Yeah, I think it's a Spotify study because I don't think that there's one artist. I don't think that there's one artist that has 0 plays across all platforms. I refuse to believe that.
You do?
I refuse to believe it.
I don't.
Nah, every artist has pulled their sales up on YouTube. Every artist has looked for their sales on whatever platform they use to listen to music.
All right, y'all. Before I get into this next topic, I just want to say this edible is the bomb. I don't know if y'all can see it. Hold on, wait. I got just a little piece left.
You saw it. Looked like a damn weed nugget.
It's a Rice Krispie, a Fruity Pebble edible. Yes.
Look at her. Look at her, y'all. Look at her.
Okay. All right. So
clout does not kill. Clout does not kill.
Okay, slow bone. Okay. Woo! That makes some more. Okay, so we meant to talk about this last week, and basically our good friend Joe Young did an interview, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he talks about, I want to say, ego, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just hear what he had to say.
Things that you learned as an artist in the music industry since your start.
It's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. I think now more than ever, I see how closely it is modeled just after just business, just regular business. Mm-hmm. And I think that artists a lot of times get caught up in the magic show of it, or the magic of entertainment. Mm-hmm. And they forget that they're there for a reason. And that reason is to entertain people, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times these artists, they want the attention they want something without giving anything. It's a take mentality, right?
What's some key things that you learned as an artist in the music?
Now, what are you guys' thoughts on his perspective? And before y'all get into y'all thoughts, I'm just going to go ahead and agree with him. Being on this side of the board, I'm not an artist. So I do feel like the artists are more so of a take and not a reciprocal relationship with certain artists. They're just trying to get what they can get out of you and step on top of your head to get to the next level. Girl. So what do you guys, how do you guys feel about that? And tell me what your thoughts.
Go ahead, Money.
I was going to let you go first.
Well, I beat you to it. Go ahead.
Y'all dynamic is so funny.
I mean, it's just all right. So shout out to Joe Young first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Great artist. But also you have to realize what the magic is. You know what I'm saying? And for you to say, yeah, it's the business, you have to know your business. And I think it's great to always know your business. Every artist should know their business. You shouldn't be in this business if you don't know your business. That's like working a job you don't know about. You know what I'm saying? There's no point of doing that. And it's good to know that, but you also have to know where the magic comes from and realize that sometimes the other people around you on your team are the ones who create that magic. And building that team is really the structure of the artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even explain to you how much it is the people behind the scenes who've kept me going, where it's times when I've been like, man, forget this. You know what I'm saying? I could have took the easy route and went out, and they're like, nah, man, you got this. Like, this is what you got to do. Stay focused. You know what I'm saying? So that's where a lot of the magic comes from. So it was just funny to hear that, to say about the magic. You know what I'm saying? That was just enlightening to me.
Right.
To hear an interview.
Like, honestly, for me, when I hear that interview, it hurts my feelings. So this is why when don't a trigger warning, y'all, don't hate me when I say this, but this is why slave owners used to say they didn't want slaves to read. Too much knowledge is bad for business. Right? Now, let's metaphorically say that any artist that's in the music industry is a slave to the music industry because you take pennies on the dollars, whatever. We all slave at our regular 9 to 5s for pennies on the dollar. But the reality of it is there was a flourishment of knowledge that went out to every artist. How to get paid, how to distribute your music, how to get shows, how to. And it got them all saying, well, I don't need anybody. Have y'all ever watched one of those magic shows where they actually show you the trick?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, he's like, what really happened, if you look behind the curtain, she was moving real low. And you know what I'm saying? It's like all mysterious. It's like, wow, that's how that trick really worked. But you know, I remember my whole life thinking maybe they did cut somebody in half. Who knew that there was a magic door? But once they told them the magic trick, you stopped seeing those tricks being done. The trick started getting up, then up, then up. So people were trying to float. Like, how's he floating? How's he floating? So it's like in this industry, all the magic tricks except for the right magic tricks have been exposed. It's like the music industry is learning with us. For every person, every guru that comes out and say, oh, you don't have to do this because all you should have been doing, or all you need to be doing is this, the music industry counters it. And they say, well, you know what? Damn, they know that trick now. Let's fuck around and try something new because everyone is not supposed to get paid. I mean, if all of you all are taking out of the damn pot and reaching in there when there's nothing in there, then oh my God.
What I think a lot of people don't understand about the business is how business is orchestrated, right? And when I say orchestrated, understanding that if you're doing certain things, if you're doing certain events, that certain people have to be paid, DJs have to be paid, bottle girls have to be paid, security has to be paid, the club has to be paid. You know what I'm saying? Things have to be paid. Things got to be placed that put in order, right?
Before we go to the next subject, right? Think about it like this, J Money. In business, even if, let's go to my favorite place, Walmart. The cashiers the stock people do not get trained on what the cashiers get trained on until they're ready to be cashiers. They don't get trained on with the assistant manager or the shift lead or the store manager, or for all fake sakes, the general manager gets trained on until you're on that level.
Right.
But right now, artists are just jumping onto the game, and you can click on what the general manager does, and they think they can do it.
Yeah, they think they're on that level.
They think they're general manager. You haven't even made it from the stock boy yet. You ain't putting no damn stock up. The store ain't got nothing in it. But hey,
it is what it is, huh?
Yep.
Now, do you guys think it's wrong for the labels to own your masters? Or do you think it's right? Or do you think it's not a matter of right or wrong? What are your thoughts?
My opinion is always this. If you have 100% of nothing that is making nothing, and you can give a percentage of somebody something that's going to make more than nothing, take it. I don't see why not. But I do understand ownership. And I also understand in what you're about to play, which makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It's a loan. Like if you like, all right, cool, I don't got it right now, but I believe that this is going to help me get it. Then this should help you get it. And if
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. We talk about this so much. It's simple. He who pays owns it.
That's it. But that's what I'm saying. But
and if a label pays you, it's listen, if I go and work at a job and they start selling t-shirts, selling shoes, I'm not gonna go to that company and be like, where's my cut? My paycheck is my damn cut. That's my cut. I mean, if I work a job on commission, I know what my commission rate is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go to that job and be like, hey, I sold about 10 of them damn TVs. I did the math. That's about 3,000-4,000. Yeah. I'm gonna need y'all to run me that. That's my work. You know, I own that because I work in here with it.
At least for working your hours.
And listen, going into your own studio, going into your own sessions, and going into all of that stuff means nothing if the label gave you the money to do so.
Do it. Right.
Because there's artists like me who every time I go to the studio, it comes out of my bank account. When I get a beat from a producer, it comes out of my bank account. And if I got that loan from a bank to take care of that, they would take their percentages out of whatever I bring in anyway. But that's that selfish shit that we be talking about. Artists are selfish and sneaky selfish at that. Artists don't want to give nobody their due rights. Artists don't. Artists just want to see their bank accounts rising and don't care about whoever else's.
Well, let's hear what Steve Stout had to say about that.
Kevin Lyles, it's a very good friend of mine. But he said, if you want to own your masters, put up the money. Great. But his whole point was, I don't think artists should own their masters just to own their masters. What are you talking about? Why should you own it? Ever? Why? Because you gave them a loan? Their bank gives you a loan for your house. You own the house. You pay the payments. It's your house. It's their house if you don't make the payment. But it's your house when you make the payment. The labels give you a loan. But yet they turn that loan into ownership in perpetuity. Get the out of here. And they know it's wrong.
What you warn an artist about?
Look at the length of the licensing agreement. How many songs do you have to deliver? Look at what counts against your options. So an artist will put out a product much quicker now. They want the revenue of it, but they don't want to count it against his options because he'll get out of the agreement quicker. What difference does it make? As long as you're making the money, shut the fuck up and let this man do his thing. That he should receive the benefit of getting out that agreement based off of those terms, not based off you can put out 5 albums, but only one per year counts. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to say anything that's not crystal clear. I want to make it uncomfortable. I don't care about these people. And then you got, I love Kevin Lyles. It's a very good friend of mine.
But I don't care about these people.
Yeah, he made it clear.
Let me be real though, right? Artists shouldn't own their masters, right? Because your masters only work as good as the connections. It's like, of course, I'm about to talk drug talk again, guys. Trigger warning. But if I'm the plug is only the guy who has all the weight. But the plug needs his people that have the connections on the street to move it. So you can be the plug all you want to. You can have it. You can do whatever you want to do. But you got to put people in position that know how to move it, know where to move it. You can't put yourself and expose yourself. And that's an artist. Yeah, you may be the plug. You may got all the music. It may be your words, your stuff. But without them moving it, without them putting it into the right hands, no one would ever smoke it.
That's what I'm saying. Owning 100% of nothing means nothing. If you have all these pounds and you can't move it, what's the point?
Man, it's weird. It's so funny to me that like I hear when he talks. He talks options and being able to move within your deal however you want to, right? But what he's not speaking about is a system, a return on investment. I mean, if I sign you for $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, and you drop 5 albums in 1 year, how many tours do I get? How many years do I get of service?
Right.
I mean,
that's the thing.
do I provide you all the means to work in a level that you may not have been able to work and not recoup anything from it? I mean, I get why artists want to own their masters, because they want to be able to sell them themselves.
Right.
It's easier to work out a partnership with that. But then again, when you're talking about masters and ownership, is that really the thing that artists should be focusing on when there's something like their publishing that's out there?
I don't know. I think I agree with him. I think that at some point you should be able, like, it shouldn't be a death sentence. Like, that contract shouldn't be like.
It's not a death sentence. It's usually 70 years. 70 years.
So if you make it at 35, like, be 105 when you.
Well, the thing about it is that stuff is called generational wealth.
Yeah.
You know, so like that stuff is not meant to go on.
Vasectomy, you don't want no kids. Then what?
Nah, it's still not meant for that though. It's and like a 35-year-old or older artist would usually get a shorter term, like 25, 30 years. Okay. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be the term is not based on how much anybody's making. The term is based on how long can you perform, how long can you be working. You see what I'm saying? If I sign a 16-year-old, I expect them to be able to be performing until they're 80 years old. I don't. Most art. Look, Frank Sinatra. How old was he when he stopped? Elvis only stopped because he died.
Tina Turner still be
most. And think about it. Most y'all have to understand. Rap contracts are structured now like rock and roll contracts, which they wasn't in the first time. At first, so rock and rollers perform until they die. If you guys haven't noticed, they be old as hell, still performing and touring, loving it. Well, rappers, what happened when you started asking for pop star money? Rock star money? What happens when you start asking for those things? You have to start doing those obligations.
That makes sense.
I mean, like, people ask, why do NBA players and NFL players get paid so much money when they only play a certain amount of seasons? And then one of my friends who was in the NFL, he said, people say that we only play 5 months out of the year, but the NFL makes us work every day. Every day they got to get up and do talks, speeches, or whatever they call them, visits, presses, promo runs, drills, workouts, and it's like, oh, I get it. Jeez, it's a commitment. Where's the commitment? So if you making a commitment, and honestly, even if you jump into a race, and say, oh yeah, I can run with the big dogs, right? And you start running your first lap, your second lap, your third lap, but then you like, wow, like I'm catching them. Or you start running side by side, but you start realizing that this race didn't start when you jumped in it. So they're on lap 390, you're on lap 20. They cooling and running with you, talking to you like, hey, what's up, bro? You're great. Hey, yeah. You'll never catch us in laps unless you stop talking to us, stop chilling with us, and start busting your tail and running like Sonic around this joint. And that's impossible. So let's talk about it, people. You feel me? We're not playing a game. This is not the damn tortoise and the hare. They can sleep. You can catch them. You can tap them on the shoulder. They way ahead of us. We have to play in their game if we want to win. And a lot of us with this, oh, we don't need them to play ball. Well, you're the same person who is honestly the people that say I don't need the label to play ball, or I don't need them to play ball, are the same people that wake up in the morning to ask you to cash out for $5 to get gas. Because they don't have to work for it. I don't have to work for it. I don't have to do that for it. You know they ain't got no job. You know it. You know it. That's a someone put me on mentality. We're in a world where everyone is getting put on now, yeah.
What does that mean? What does getting put on mean now?
What does getting put on mean now?
Yeah.
Put on means when you put people in places, you allot them connections, you allot them moves that they necessarily would not have gotten on their own, and they necessarily usually don't deserve.
I wouldn't agree with the latter part, but some don't. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like a put on so back in my day, one of my friends said, "Put me on, bro. Put me on." And I said to him, I said, "Bro, I can't put you on." He said, "Why is that?" I said, "Well, in order for me to put you on, I'd have to be willing to give up some of my contacts. I'd have to be willing to give up my people that benefit to me, and I have to be willing to give some of them to you. To just give you something and tell you to go out there and make money is not a put on. You know, like you can come to me, bro. I can call you in a week, I can call you in 2 weeks, I can call you in a month, and you can never be done. And it's no one's fault because I only gave you something. I didn't put you on. I didn't tell people to start calling you. I didn't tell people that you were the place to go. No way, no shape, form, or fashion. You had no plan, but seeing me do it. And you think that that's the way to do it because you see me, my reciprocations of what I benefit from it. So that's not a put on just to put somebody on because they see what you benefit from it. That's actually hurting them way worse.
You strict.
Nah,
No,
I mean,
I'm
look,
just saying,
people-
like,
people
if I
say
put
to me,
somebody
put me
on, you got to tell them where to go.
No, look, people say to me, "Put me on," and I'll be like, "All right, cool." I put them on a track, or I put them on a show, or I put them on a movie set, or I tell me.
But that's not putting them on because,
But
like,
that's what
even
I'm saying. Like that's why I said when somebody say "put me on," tell me what you mean because I've done stuff. People said, "Man, how do you get on the movie sets?" I'll send you the email. This is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? You want me to put you on? I'll put you on a movie set. You want me to put you on this track? I'll put you on the microphone. You want me? What you want me to do? You want me to put you on a shirt? I'll put you on a freaking shirt. Like you know what I'm saying? What you want me to put?
yeah, but that's not putting them on. Putting somebody on the record that you're usually going to make money off of as well is not putting them on.
I'm saying,
but he's not going to make money off of the movie roles that they do, and then
even putting them in a movie on a movie does not do anything for them because what I find is this: in anything, there's selections. We have our choices. I mean, in that little Russell Stover's box, right? That everybody get for Valentine's Day, it comes with all of these different little chocolates. Mm-hmm. And for real, I've become one of those people who now look on the back and see where the ones that I like are, and the ones that I don't like. Yeah, Russell Stover's put them all together. Russell Stover's put them all on, but I'm never going to fuck with them again. I tried them once. I didn't like them. They didn't have the same taste. They didn't have the same flavor. They didn't have the same vibe as the ones that I like. So yeah, thank you for bringing them, Russell. Thank you for bringing them, but they're not my tea. So that's not a put on. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have to be likable. If I put somebody on, you have to come in and I'm like, look, I talk like this when I'm around them. I move like this when I'm around them. You know, like some people, I get around celebrities and people are like, yo, what do you do around celebrities? Well, shit, sometimes whatever they ask me to do. Sometimes that should be as simple as, yo, can you go get me some waters? And I'm like, all right. You feel me? Like, listen, I've been put on so many runs by executives to get them things and never ask for any money. Always pay for it out of my own pocket. But then as soon as I tell one of my friends, like, hey, don't ask them for the money, Just get it. Oh, you're tripping. You gonna use your own money? They're rich. I'm like, bro. I mean, yeah, I get it. They are rich, but
yeah, you just go get.
You asking me how do I get liked? How am I in this circle? I mean, when you get in it, that's what's gonna happen to you if you move that way.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
A lot of people do not understand that if you keep giving people and giving people, you are handicapping them. Like honestly, I tell more people now. Like a lot of people ask me, "Yo, Sixx, let's do a record together?" I don't even give my vocals to nobody no more. I'm like, nope, no collabs, no. Because honestly, what they gonna do with it? They just want to go. Oh, I did a record with Sixxcess. Oh, I did a record with Sixx. Miss Sixx got a record. All online. Let's drop that joint we did. When you gonna drop that joint we did? Hello. Newsflash, I'm not. What are you gonna do? When are you gonna get active? Why do I have to put money always in your pocket? Well, what do y'all think the labels say? We're gonna put money in your pocket, but we want it all. we want it all. You can have the money we put in your pocket, but we want the money you make. How about that?
Deep.
And listen, let's just be real, right? In this scenario in business, you need money to make money. You need product to make money. You need that capital. And however you choose to go get it, I see a lot of rappers nowadays. We all know what they do. They jump out there in the streets. They find them a little plug. They start moving that weight. They become the biggest thing in the world. And then they gone. Well, y'all know what? That is what they owed. Someone's going to collect on what you owe. One way or another. They're going to find you. They're going to get you. So just play along the right way. And let's see. Hold on. I'm about to read some of the comments. He said, it's just a lack of business understanding. Yep. Giving a handout is the worst thing you can do for people. 100%. Share your success and not your struggle. You a fool. I agree with that. Oh, Monique. Man, why?
Okay. So my name is Monique. Did you guys see the special?
Nope.
Neither one of y'all saw it?
Nope. I'm not a Monique fan, young. But I will tell you this. I did see some of the clips that people have been circulating around the internet. And it confirms why I didn't watch it. Is she still funny?
Hold on, let me come back on here.
Because her last two movies, did y'all see that last movie that she was in the reading?
No, I'm going to actually watch it.
BMF?
Huh?
Was she in BMF?
Yeah, she Goldie in BMF.
Okay.
Let's talk about this Monique special. So she did all that hooting and hollering and demanding how she was underpaid and all this, and we rallied behind Monique. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Black women need to be taken seriously. We need to have more money. We need to be paid for our time. Like, okay, so it was a struggle watching this special, and I'm somewhat of a Monique fan. I admire her. I thought she was funny in Queens of Comedy. I think she was funny on the Parkers. This special was a little. Let me just say this: the first 10 minutes, I cut it off.
Okay, good. That's honesty. I like it. Transparency.
I had to watch Comedy Hype's kind of review before I went back to finish it because I was disgusted. And I'm not a so proper person. I use profanity, but I feel like every word was MFer and B, and it was just too, like, it was too much for me. And y'all know
Trying to be one of the guys.
Y'all know I'm Rashetta. but that was just too much for me. So I cut it off. And I was like, all right, you're not being fair. You got to talk about the special, and you can't give an honest, fair opinion if you don't watch it, right? Because I was timing up for you, Six. I thought you was going to be ready. I thought you watched it. I was like, oh, I got to come to bat, you know what I'm saying, for Monique or whatever. But it was horrible. It was horrible. There were like a couple of jokes in there, but overall, it seemed like she was trying to tell a story and she wasn't relatable, so she had to use curse words to kind of bring it down to nigga level, excuse my French. And I just felt like we're smarter than that. You didn't have to talk to us like that. But there was one interesting part of the special, and it caught my attention because this isn't the first time I've heard something like this. So Monique talked about, she tried to save face for the LGBTQ whatever community. After some more called Zaya Wade a boy, which is true, and Dave Chappelle constant being attacked by the community. Monique, it looks like she tried to come in there and get their backing, be their friend, when we're all their friends, okay? You didn't have to do that, but kind of separate herself like she's for the community, right? And in doing so, she shared that she had a secret, okay? Monique had a secret, y'all, and she was scared to tell her husband. She didn't want him to judge her and all of this baloney, basically. And she said the secret was, I like women. And he was like, I like bitches too. Ha, 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 right? So she talks about inviting a woman into the bedroom with her and her husband. Now, that's not what caught my attention, y'all, because, I mean, it's just a threesome, you know? That's it. It's just a threesome. What caught my attention was when she said that she let the woman come in their bedroom and go down on her. But when it was the girl's time or her time to go down on the girl, she was like, nah, I'm good, right?
Okay. Selfish woman. I like that.
Selfish, but to me, the back of my eye was twitching, right? Because I'm like, how do you like women, but you don't like to eat cat? So what is it that you like about women? That's what caught my attention, right? Because I'm an analyzer, and I realize when I don't smoke, I be thinking extra hard. So I was sitting there, and I'm like, hold on. So you let her do you, but you don't really like women, right? So you just invited her in because your husband won't go down on you. Like, perfect sense. Because one of her jokes was that she was working all day and she came home and she was like, lick on my lollipop to her husband. He was like, I don't want to. And so she was like, lick on my lollipop. And he was like, I don't want to. So he put his hands in her pants and put it to her face. And she was like, oh, what the fuck is that? And he was like, your lollipop. So that was the joke, right? That was the joke before she did the threesome joke. So in my mind, that's still playing that he ain't want to eat you out. And then now you talking about you got some head, but you ain't want to give it. And I was like, you're not really gay. You're not really bisexual. You don't really like women because what else can you do? I mean, you could a girl with a dildo, but that's what your husband is there for. So when she's done eating, like, what do y'all like? No.
You are so amazing right now. Like, this is amazing. I mean, like, first of all, so the comedy,
the elephant in the room.
So the comedy hour wasn't funny, and we learned that Monique don't eat cat. But you know what? Monique should be canceled like Pepe Le Pew. Monique should be canceled like Pepe Le Pew. No, for real. Because like they canceled Pepe Le Pew because they said that he was harassing the cat all the time. What was she doing to Professor Ogilvy the whole time? No, I mean, like, yeah, he murdered her at the end, and then the whole thing ended. That's how it ended. And that was really like a corny ending of that whole show that I didn't watch, y'all. I didn't watch the Parkers, but I did watch the Parkers because I grew up in the household with my mom, and my mom watched the Parkers, and it was like her thing that she thought Monique was so funny, and I just thought it was like not funny at all. But this comedy special sounds very terrifying, and now I'm definitely 100% not gonna watch it.
I mean, it was like I said, I cut it off the first 10 minutes. I forced myself to sit through it. Like to not to compare her to Chris Rock or anything, but shit, Chris Rock special was like I was on the floor rolling. And this joint, and I know a lot of people didn't like that, but compared to this joint, like I'm just mad because you know what I'm really mad about? I'm mad that she tried to play on the LGBTQ. You know, she tried to play on their feelings. Like, how do you try to infiltrate and perpetrate and then expose yourself like you aren't a L or a B if you don't eat cat? Like, how dare you? Like, they should cancel her. Like, I don't like that. I did not like that at all. I thought that Monique, you just told the world that your husband does not like to go down on you. And there's a lot of women.
She also told the world her pussy stinks. I mean, her lollipop stinks.
There's a lot of women though that go, and I started to think, and I was like, I know a few people that they say they had threesomes just so the girl could come, but they wouldn't do the girl. So I'm like, well, maybe the dude just because if you got a dude that be doing his thing, like, what you need a girl to come in and do it for? Like, so is it that your man don't do it right or he don't want to do it? So you're like, well, let's have a threesome.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, she's would have. I don't know.
Because my idea of a threesome is inviting another dude. Like,
what is happening today in the session?
I'm strictly dickly, so it's like I don't need another me in the room. I need another you in the room. Like, it's everywhere. Like, I'm just saying.
You know what? Like the good Lord right now.
Oh shit!
He just got closer and shit. He just got closer shit to the cloud. Like, what's she gonna say next?
You know what?
What's she gonna say next?
I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, I'm sorry, y'all, but that, and y'all know that shit rubbed me wrong. Like, I was just looking like you perpetrating asshole.
Well, we need to. Yeah, let's cancel Monique.
Yeah, she got to go with the faker.
This segment, I care less about Monique and learned a lot about Mr. Truth. There we gonna say. I'm not gonna lie, man. If this is what the session is going to be, I love it. We just learned so much. J Money, is there anything informative that you'd like to tell us?
I mean, like, y'all. Okay, so while we're just having fun here, I thought about well, I'm gonna play this clip right here, and I'm just gonna share a little bit of something. So there's been clips resurfacing. I forgot who sent me one, but it was basically about keeping the fathers out of the home and the systematic racism and such. I'm gonna save my piece for the far end of this talk.
I want to talk to production. Who put this segment in? Who put this in? I need to talk to production.
What?
And I need to let everyone know that's watching, these segments get me a little bit spicy. So if I get if I'm not here next week, if I get suspended, blame it on management. Let's go already.
So okay, so this first clip didn't really, I don't know if I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but it didn't really speak to what I thought it would speak to. So let me play this clip and then we're going to discuss it. For a second while I pull it up.
Woo. Black fathers.
You guys get a drink of water, get a drink because it's about to get extra hot again up in here. Okay, like
I need to get a Red Bull.
Talk about it. All right, so here's the clip right here.
5 divorces originate from women. Women get incredibly bored.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, so this was more so about marriage and who does the divorce benefit?
A lot faster in long-term relationships and marriages than men do. Men, it kind of like goes a little slow over time. Women, it's like, I do, honeymoon phase, boom, a couple kids, boom, right? So you just have to understand that's a propensity of the way things usually go. 90% of alimony flows to women. 80% of custody orders are awarded to mothers. There is zero incentive in family law, the way that it's written throughout most of the Western world, for women to behave well in a divorce. 50% of first marriages fail, 75% of second marriages. I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't get in a plane with a parachute if they said, oh, there's about half a chance this parachute's going to open. How can you minimize those risks? I know a lot of guys want to reproduce, they want to have kids, they want to leave a genetic legacy. I get it. She has to enter your frame and you must control it. 4 to 5 divorces originate from.
Okay. All right. So this is basically just talking about marriage and who it benefits. I can speak on this right now because me personally, I feel like there's some bad experiences, there's some good experiences. It benefits women because a lot of women have to stay home and take care of kids. They're not working as hard or as much as the man do, or he does. When it benefits the woman, usually the man makes a little bit more. There are instances like Mary J. Blige, Jill Scott, and other women who make the money, Wendy Williams, that make the money where the divorce did not favor the woman. So let's not go on here and spit this bullshit is what I'm going to call it. Yeah, guys.
That's hilarious. That's and like I said, guys, y'all don't hate me for this, especially you, Jzabel. But you just named a handful of women that came to your mind, and you probably, if you really thought about it and we had enough time, you could add 2 more names to that list.
Possibly.
Now, if you got to run down men list that's the total opposite, you can just say all
but those are men that are wealthier than, I mean, that's how it is. It's not even a man-woman thing. It's the wealthier person. The person that has the most money is the one that pays up.
Yeah, but still, that's benefited in the system, though. This is what, like what he's talking about in the system. Yes, certain states have certain laws in place that protects the benefitter, the person that makes the breadwinner, that protects the breadwinner. And there's some laws that's going to always make sure whoever is being supported is going to always be able to be supported until they get back on their feet, pending the terms of what happens. Now, if the breadwinner is the one that's kind of not initiating the divorce, usually it's the lesser that's initiating it because they're being taken advantage of by the breadwinner because of their lack of. So they reciprocate rewards. Now, in a situation where a breadwinner is not rewarded, we're still talking about men who are breadwinners and do not get their kids and are forced in a system of child support, visitation rights, and things like that because of whatever demographic and or how do I want to say this, perception that is put on you in the paperwork by that woman. I mean, like,
hold on, can you say that? Can you just say that? Run that back and put it in small. So, are you saying that in situations where there is no breadwinner? Is that what you started with?
Yeah, no, situations where there are breadwinners. Okay. But like, it's
support and all of that stuff falls
right.
Like,
that usually
no matter what, if the man is bringing the bread, they're going to take a portion of it.
Yeah, even if a man is not bringing the bread and he's with a woman and she's the breadwinner, the perception is still based on what she says.
I disagree, but go ahead.
She could say, I'm leaving him because he's not faithful to me. And this man could have never cheated on her a day in his life. She could say, he's not fit to be a father because I'm the breadwinner. So now the system knowing that he's not the breadwinner will still give him, yeah, your divorce will be granted, but the kids are with her because she's the breadwinner. In a situation where the father is the breadwinner, he can make that same claim and they would say, yo, she's the mother. You have to show us just cause on why we should take this child from her mother, no matter you're the breadwinner or not. So in every situation, you always going to find a confliction in the law and what they say when it comes to a man. I mean, like, let me tell you something. I got screwed the long way in the system when it comes to my baby mother and my son. I was a 20-year-old kid, and I was already paying $51.50 to a baby mother that I knew had 3 jobs, doing dumb shit that I wasn't even with her ass, working 3 jobs. But you go into the court with your mom who works in the legal office and all these fake documents saying you make $2 an hour at Fridays.
Did you hire a private investigator?
I'm a 20-year-old kid from the ghetto.
20 years old is not a kid.
Nah, listen. You have to understand. You have to understand.
Like, you gotta hire a private investigator.
That's knowledge, though. That's knowledge.
True.
And we talked about this last week on the show. That knowledge is privy based on your race. The knowledge that you get to fight against the law, is privy to is privy on your race. Listen, as kids, my son is now driving, and I put him behind the wheel, get him in the wheel, and the first thing I teach him, the first lesson I have to teach him, if the police get behind you, roll all the windows down, make sure you turn on the headlights on, how to deal with that. I mean, white people, they teach them differently. Don't say nothing. Call your lawyer. Call our lawyer. Call Jack, and he'll be right down there. I mean, like, when we get taught to deal with certain things, it's based on, especially when it comes to the law and how to interact with it. I wasn't until I was about 27 that I even learned about getting a lawyer and doing all that stuff. But no one took the time to be like, oh yeah, let's fight the system like this. They just
blame that on race, though. I wouldn't say you can't blame that on race. Like, I just feel like that's just Puritan and
you watch the Chrisleys?
Yes.
No.
So you see what happened when his son got the girl pregnant as a teenager? So his son, they're white. For all the watchers that don't know, the Chrisleys are white. His son got a girl pregnant, a black girl pregnant, 18 years old in high school. Immediately, Todd Chrisley took his son, fought for custody of the kid, and got custody of the kid from the black mother.
Why would he do that?
Well, he told the judge that he had better means to take care of the kid and raise the kid because he was white and they were the Chrisleys. And the judge agreed and gave custody.
That's one situation. I feel like if you come from a specific social class, you will be taught that. I've seen situations where a girl got pregnant by a married dude, right?
Yeah.
And she went to take him for child support. He then returned. These are black people now. He then returned with his wife.
Watch the show, man.
He then returned with his wife and almost got full custody of that child. Almost. The only thing that stopped him from getting full custody of that child is the fact that he abandoned that child within the months up until the child support. So the judge was basically like, you didn't care about this child up until you have to pay for this child. So I think that was one of the things that didn't, but they were black. I've seen,
of course they were black.
I've seen black men take their kids, have full custody over their kids because their baby mamas wasn't what, I don't want to say ain't shit, but it's possible. I think that's all about social class and knowledge. To just make it a black-white thing, I think that's where it kind of gets under my skin, because there are a lot of poor white people that go through the same stuff. They don't get custody because they were whatever trash. You know what I'm saying? And the girl gets custody, so it happens. I think it's just a poor thing and ignorant and maybe just not knowledgeable.
But like, so this is what I have this debate all the time. Yes, there are white people that are poor, right? Mm-hmm. There are white people that get treated like us, but those white people are an anomaly that don't use their white privilege. However, in our community, it's a norm. People that are not treated like that are the anomalies. The special ones are the ones that rise above black culture.
Okay, but whose fault is that? That's individual's fault. It's not like it's. I think it's just I think it's an individual thing, and it's also a poor thing. Like, I just think it's
at the end of the day, I don't think any judge will ever say to any man, no, he cannot see his kid if he wants to see his kid. No, he cannot spend time with his kid if he wants to support his child. I don't think any judge is going to say no to a man for trying to attempt to do that. No judge can say to a man if he goes in the court building and say to him, and he goes to the judge and says, you know, I want to spend more time with my kid. I want to get him 6 months out the year. Can I do that? And can I pay less child support if I get him 6 months out the year? I don't think a judge will say no to that.
Well, I don't. But that's the thing, right? Here's the thing. The proof is in the pudding.
Okay.
Because, the studies show that if you go into court and ask, I want to see my child more, that's called visitation.
Okay.
That's called visitation.
That's not right. Okay. That's not child support.
And that's on a schedule. That the
man allows. You have to.
How does he allow that? By not being with the woman?
You have to, because it's more. I feel like a lot of black men give up, and I'm about to get into some very murky waters right now, because I feel like a lot of black men don't try hard enough to see their kids. They don't try hard enough to get their kids. You can do it. It's possible. My father was going to put my mother on child support. It is very well possible, and that's probably why I come from the other spectrum of it, because I was raised by a single father who had full custody. And it wasn't, it wasn't really a battle in that situation. And I see a lot of men, even now, like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not about to pay her ass shit. We about to go to court. Like, it is what it is. They could stay with me. I have a bigger place anyway. I know what he like, she in that little ass apartment. I got this big ass. I'm about to take the kids from her ass. Like, it's a normal conversation amongst some black people. So
it's a normal conversation, but the ones that accomplish it are anomalies. It's not
the ones that don't try are just easily. A lot of black men
that's not fair.
Give up. I feel like a lot of black men feel like, well, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with her anyway. She can keep that shit. I'm not about to go to court. I don't feel like going to court. I ain't no snitch. I'm not about to point her out. It's okay. She can have it. Fuck it. I give her this little bit of money. Like, a lot of black men just throw their hands up in the air when it comes to custody over a child. And we can't say that that's not true.
That may be true. That may be 100% true, but why is that? You're not even acknowledging why that is.
It doesn't matter.
No, there's several reasons. Because one, you don't realize, just like he said, that you'll be going to court thinking about the visitation because you want to be a part of that child's life. And that's a whole nother case. That's not child support. So at the end of the day, you're going to court for two totally different things. And if you don't even know the frustration of just even going to court, it's years of that just to be in this kid's life. They're turning 18. You only turn 18 once.
So
I think that's an excuse.
So we just did comedy hour. We did comedy hour.
You get a job. You have shelter. Like, because a lot of men don't even have shelter to take their kids to if they're not with their baby mama. So
exactly,
that's majority of black men. So how can they say they're trying to be on an even playing field when they're not even putting in the effort?
How can a man?
You see my kid? Well, where you going to take the kid?
How can a man? How can a man be expected to be financially structured if he goes into a child support situation, right? Because this is how child support works for all the people in the
Let's
back.
start when the baby comes out of the coochie.
Still,
What is he doing at that point? You're with your baby mama.
Hold on, time out.
The child comes out. What are you doing with yourself at that point? Before you even get to y'all break up, what are y'all doing?
At this point, this is what's happening.
At this point, what's happening is this. If a woman takes you for child support, that takes up to 2 years before you actually get into court for child support. It doesn't happen like 2 months later.
Even more to prove my point. Go ahead.
No, listen. Secondly, everything that you've done for that child, whatever receipts you have, whatever you've been paying for that child, will get brought into record and does not matter. It's called gifts. It's called gifts in the law eyes. So when you get up to that, when you start talking about that, this man is already starting now 2 years in the hole. Let's say he had a job making $20 an hour and he was financially straight. Let's say he was. But now the law is set up to where this mother has the child. So that's $51.50 if we're in Maryland. And it's probably way different in other states. But let's talk about Maryland, what I know. It's $51.50. That means now 51% of your check goes to the custodial parent. So now let's talk about this, because we talk about the average black man who may have his own place, making $20 an hour. He's already set his lifestyle at whatever he was doing for his baby mother, whatever he was doing for himself. That's already his lifestyle for the last 2 years, but now his paychecks are cut in half. Now he can't afford his rent unless he has a roommate, because he's giving half of his check to his baby mother and he still sees his child. Let's talk about it. Or let's say he don't see his child. That's even worse.
Why is, if both people are working and they're making the same amount of money, why is he giving her?
Because that's the law. Because that's the law. It's automatic. It's automatic. And in order for him to counter that, he has to now go out, get a lawyer, miss days off work when he's already missing hours and pay off work.
Retainer for that lawyer is $2,500.
Exactly. And that's not even going to actual court, which could cause anywhere up to $5,000 to $7,000.
That's enough for a man to say to hell with it.
Nah, no. You're not. It's not. The bigger picture is this. The bigger picture is this. The history of a black man and the court system. You talk about. It's not saying, oh, if you pay $2,000, you're gonna get this brand new car that costs $2,000. This is, you give me $2,000 and maybe we'll look at it and figure it out and do something about it. So now you're setting yourself back again, because you're spending bread and you have to deal with society already labeling you as whatever they're going to label you.
You don't even understand the other process.
You know what I hear, y'all? You know why y'all talking? You know what I hear? A bunch of fucking excuses.
That process is the same for that process is the same.
I just hear a bunch of excuses.
Time out though. It is excuses, but it's also reasons. It's also reasons, because like the thing about it is this, right? There's a lot more people in this world. When you start to do the math, everybody can talk about the few people that they know, the few good men. You see what I'm saying? But when you really have this topic of discussion, the number was right there, 80%. So I don't care about what your 20% is talking about. I don't care about how lucky your 20% got. I'm worried about that 80 unlucky percent. That's the percentage I'm worried about. And I refuse to believe that 80% is just so dumb, so stupid, and so beaten, defeated.
They not that other 20%. Dumb.
Nah, it's
lazy. Like most black people are. Like men like men nowadays are lazy. They're not. My whole thing is, okay, you in a relationship with somebody, they pop the child out. Y'all trying to work things out. At that moment, she say, I don't want to be with you. To hell with you. What do you do from that moment on? Do you sit there and wait till you get the child support papers? Do you say, hey, do you have a discussion? Do y'all write out a plan? Like, what are the steps that most of them are bitter baby mamas is what y'all would say. So they put you on child support. So what are you doing within that time that once you get to the child support court, you're not established enough to have a good battle? Like,
okay, so my question is,
there are pro bono lawyers all over the place.
My question to you is, what would you do? What is it that they should do?
I don't believe in child support.
But okay, but
personally,
but no.
if I was a man and I was in a relationship with a woman and we for some reason break up, like, but I'm gonna say the person that I am as a man, right? I'm a very determined, ambitious person. I won't be without shelter or food or vehicle. So I will already be established enough to be like, oh shit, here go the child support. You know what? Bitch got me fucked up. Let me call around, see if I can find me a lawyer because we about to go to court. I'm about to fight this shit. All right, boom. I make X amount of money. I don't see why I have to pay for it. Like you have to take money out my check. I'll just take custody. She don't want to give me custody. Why? I'm a fit person. Like that's the part that I don't understand. It's like why it can't be.
That's what you don't understand. It don't work like that.
Right now, what you just did, what you just experienced, what me and J Money just experienced, is privilege. Understand? Like you have to understand.
Privilege.
No, like you have to understand this, right? You can come up. You're able to come up with such a plan and strategic way of thinking about it because let's be real, you're a woman. You hold that power. No. Talk about. Everybody knows where I stand on this. The power of having a child, raising a child, structure of a child is all in the hands of the woman. From the man loses from the minute that sperm hits the egg, the man loses all power to determine what happens with that child. If you have to get court systems involved and someone to tell the man he has rights, that's proof enough. When that child comes out and they put that name on that child, they're going to put the mom's name on that child. They're not going to ask dad, what's your name, dad? Let's make sure we have both of y'all name on here.
Oh, man, that's another thing. And this brings me to my next topic before we get out of here. Listen, a lot of men names ain't on the birth certificates. One, because either they weren't there, they weren't around, or the woman's trying to get government assistance. Like, usually, if you have a baby with somebody that you wanted, you're going to want the child to have your last name. The only time the kid has the mother's last name is if they was having problems at that time, or the man did not really care he didn't know if the baby was his or not. Like if it's an intentional situation, that child is going to have that man's last name.
Well, there's a video I watched earlier. This said that if it wasn't for government assistance, there would be way more deadbeat moms than there are deadbeat dads.
Yep. That's true. And I'm glad that you said that because I asked the question. And of course, my dear, people think I'm like Candace Owens 2.0, and that's okay. Call me ratchet conservative. I asked the question. I said that should there be a cap on government assistance and welfare for single mothers? And before I give my answer, I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah. Well, there is a cap on it, and it's based on how many kids you have. So, yeah, I believe that it should be
a yearly cap.
Yeah, it's that right. Yeah,
it should be a yearly cap. What about you, J Money?
Do you understand that means there's no fucking cap?
Yeah, I mean, based on how many kids you have, there should be.
There's no cap. Like these women are having kids. Like, what are you talking about? They're gonna keep having kids and keep getting government assistance.
Correct.
I know a woman who's like 25 with like 8 kids. I said, how in the world is that possible?
And living better than us.
16 and just kept having kids. I was just like, that's crazy. How are you able to take care of this many kids?
So why do you guys think it should be a cap?
I mean, like it should be. I think that it should stay the way it is, based on how many kids you have. Did you just get it? It shouldn't change. The system isn't the system. The government's assistance program isn't the problem. Because there's a lot of these women that are having babies by men that don't want to have babies by them. So there should be something. But what I'm saying is the system isn't set up. The law system is not set up in benefit of the black man. period.
Or
But
the black woman, I would say.
well, I mean, she's benefiting. All she got to do is fill out the paperwork. All a black woman has to do is
She's
fill out the
benefiting,
paperwork.
right? She's benefiting, but are those kids benefiting? Let's say
It
75 to
depends.
80% of the black kids that's out here committing violent crimes and murdering people, they come from single mother households. Is that clear?
I mean, it is clear, but I come from a single mother household on government assistance, so
Or 25%. I said 75%. So it's a thing where it benefits the woman, but it doesn't really benefit the kids. These kids then grow up without certain opportunities or knowledge or
exactly.
experiences that they could have had. I feel like it should be a cap on government assistance.
No, I'm in that 75%. I'm in that 75% because I grew up just like that. Lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, and when back was against the wall, I felt like I had no options as well. I didn't learn my options until I started talking to, no disrespect, older, successful black men that were rich or successful white men. And they started putting me straight. Like, no, you don't have to do that. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, you do it like this. Do it like that. So yeah, but at the end of the day, that's knowledge. That's demographics. And no, I don't think that they should be capped on a cap. I think that it should be, listen, if they got 10 kids, the government should continue helping them. I mean, what's it going to happen? Less help, more problems.
Yeah. I think that there definitely needs to be a cap. The cap needs to be 5 years. Like, you have 5 years to get your shit together and get on your feet. If you decide to have a child within that, that's on you. You need to figure out how to take care of that child. And then there needs to be a 5-year waiting period after you've gotten off to get back on. And the reason I feel like that is because it's far too many disabled homeless people, veteran homeless people, and seniors. Like, if you are advocating for one of those three things and you are sitting here looking for low income or maybe senior housing for one of these individuals or disabled veterans or whatever, you will hear that these waiting lists are 5 to 10 years old. Imagine your grandmother, 75. You know what I'm saying? She just stopped driving, she can't work as hard as she needs to work. And you're going around trying to help your grandmother find housing. And they tell you it's a 5 to 9 year wait list for your grandmother to get low income housing. She's luckily she lives that long to get it. But then you got able-bodied women who can see, who got 2 eyes, 2 ears, hands and feet, okay, and a coochie that's working, obviously. They are not, like, they're just sitting here taking that while these older people, these veterans and these disabled people are on the streets. They're dying in the winters and they need this housing more so than these women. I feel like they need to be prioritized. Those 3 categories need to be prioritized, and these women need to be on a 5-year limit. There's no reason why within 5 years you can't go to a trade school to try to learn a trade to make more money. You don't start a business to try to make more money. You don't go to college 4 years and get a degree to try to make more money. There's no reason that within 5 years of low income housing, you cannot do anything, possibly nothing at all, to get on your feet. Like, I just think
kids is a lot. And look, in 5 years, you can't even get that kid in school. In some states.
Well, kindergarten.
You got that kid 24/7. It's 24/7.
Kindergarten, and that's why I said
that ain't gonna start to the kid 5 years old.
5 years, right? You put your kid in school. At this point, the kid can go to school. You have 4 to 6 hours that you can do something with it. Like, you can do something. The whole thing about it is get these people to do something. I don't like the fact that there's old people out here dying, veterans out here dying, and they can't find housing because there's able-bodied women just sitting there on their ass popping out babies. Like, I think that shit is not cool at all.
So do you think women with skills, are getting on government assistance?
Yes.
They have no skills.
They have skills. They just don't know that they have skills, which is why another thing they need to implement is a parenting program. They have these life skills program, right? Most of these women that I see on Section 8, they have CNA. They have those nursing outfits on. They go to school for home health aid. They do that. So, and a lot of these programs require you to do something, work development or something, in order to continue to receive this assistance. They can do more. It's just a matter of when they enroll in this program, social workers just got to do better. Get these women out of here so these old people and these veterans and these disabled people can have a place to stay.
But see, so you're implying that government assistance is more for the woman and not the kid.
I mean, the parent needs to provide. I know people as well that work their ass. They got kids. They're women. They're not on government assistance. Never have been. Like they've had. Well, I can't say never have been because everybody's had WIC, which is government assistance. Okay, and maybe food stamps in the beginning. But majority of them, like I know women that pay market rent. That's right. I mean, it's hard. It looked just as hard as the women on Section 8. Like they be complaining, but it can be done. The fact that it can be done is just a matter of knowledge.
Why do people have to work hard just because other people work hard?
You said, why do people have to work hard?
Yeah, like
because the taxpayers are the ones that's at the end of the day. This was another thing that I thought was funny. You hear a lot of women on government assistance and welfare. Oh, I did this by myself. I took care of my kids. I ain't asked nobody for that.
They have a whole support system.
By myself. No, the fuck
No.
you didn't. The taxpayers take care of your fucking kids. Like that's
No. Let me also say a lot of those
everybody should work hard. Why should I work hard and you take money out of my check to take care of somebody that don't want to work?
Because Jzabel, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a kid.
So
it takes a village.
LeBron, Kanye, Oprah, all of them just need to do. We would never have to work if they took care of us.
Well,
nobody.
We take care of them. Their tax dollars is why those women are able to watch them all day and keep them in business.
I just care about the old people, the veterans, and the disabled people. And when I look around and I see all these people on the streets and stuff like that, and it's saddening. And I thought about it.
Not trying to be funny.
I thought about it the other day, and I was like, damn. Let's say you a veteran, you got PTSD, you amputated on one leg, and you just need housing. Like you're able to find a job 4 hours a day, and you need housing. So you go to the VA, you go wherever, and they tell you, oh, you gotta wait 10 years. You don't have no kids, no family. What are you going to do? You're just going to die out when there's an able person just not wanting to work?
I mean, but we are talking about... Oh, damn, young. I knew today I was going to get fired, dog. These are all irresponsible. These are all irresponsible people. Even grandma, who has retired and don't have a place to live and all this stuff, she was irresponsible. Like she didn't do what she was supposed to be doing all her life either, because grandma's supposed to have her house locked up and loaded already straight. You're supposed to be able to retire and, I mean, for lack of better words, live out your days there. Move the
Okay, so disabled people that were born disabled. What about
they get taken care of though?
What about people that fought for the country and come back?
Nah,
can't get housing.
Listen, if you fought for the country, if you fought for this country and you come back to America and you can't, and you're not taken care of, again, irresponsible. Because every veteran that I know, listen, I came home from the military on a medical discharge, and they sent me home with a nice ass check. You know what I'm saying? A nice ass check that I was able to sit for at least 2 years without even having to think about another job. So when you talk about these things, like people have to understand, like if you really got your leg blown off, why you ain't at that VA office getting your benefits? You know what I'm saying? Like
you can get benefits.
God bless Captain Darrell.
No waiting list for low-income housing.
No, it is. But God bless Captain Darrell, right? Because what he told me is he actually helps VA veterans get their benefits. And there was one veteran that he had homeless, not knowing what he was going to do. And Captain Darrell stopped to talk to him, come to find out he just needed help with the VA paperwork. He needed help with the VA stuff. Once he got it done, got his house, getting his benefits, monthly benefits, all that stuff. He's straight for life.
There's a waiting list. Did you not hear that I just said?
It wasn't nothing but like a couple of weeks. And plus, listen, if you ain't real, if you take care of it when you first come out, there is not a waiting list.
Okay, so you're comparing people that just grew old, maybe had an apartment and grew old and can't work their physical capabilities, because I'm talking about physical capabilities here. People that for some reason are no longer physically capable to make the money to take care of themselves, that need the help. You're comparing them to young, able-bodied people that just don't want to do better in life.
All I'm saying is both parties were irresponsible and didn't take care of their things right, and now they need assistance.
Well, that's that, y'all. Y'all heard it from both sides. That why y'all in here? Go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button, because y'all, we can go. Me and him gonna go back and forth all day on this. I might as well just cut it short right here, y'all.
Yeah, we got the
comments down below. Let us know what you think of, what you thought about the stream, what you think about the topics. Because next week we coming back even hotter. Yeah. I'm sure y'all enjoyed this because I loved it. And J Money 6, this was a wonderful time. We about to get up out of here. Y'all have any messages for our people?
Yeah, if you stop by any cops, just stop.
Yeah, that part. Stay safe.
And make sure to follow us on social media at Boss Biz Radio, at I Am Sixxcess, and at JmoneyGibbs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, we got our blue text. We got our blue text, y'all. Hey!
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Yes, if you guys missed the stream, go ahead and run that shit back because we are out of here. Love y'all. See y'all next week.
Peace.